Hello. Can you hear me now? I hope you can. Can you confirm if you can hear me? Please tell me it's working. How about now? Uh, do, do, do. All right. Okay, fantastic. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's. I mean, the Streamlab. It's very. I don't know. Has its own personality. I don't know. As soon as I change my my setup, I move my computer somewhere, it doesn't work. When it shouldn't happen, but it does, and yeah. Anyway, here we are. Finally, you can hear me. I've been speaking a long time before, and just like an idiot, I was just talking to myself. All right, Bobbox Art, welcome, Mortar Champion, welcome, Immortan Hanks, welcome to the stream. Luis, always a pleasure to have you here. How are you? You hear me with a little noise. Well, I don't know. I would have to do something with the setup somehow. I'm not sure. I have my my window open because it's very, very hot here. So if not, I would just cook myself in here. So maybe those are the noises. I don't know if you can hear. Well, you probably cannot hear because, yeah, it's still not working either. Let me see. I just... Can you hear some waves? Some refreshing waves. Ocean. Can you? I decided to change the background sound instead from a fire, since it's so hot and so warm. I thought that maybe with some refreshing noise on the background that helps to refresh the mind somehow. So yeah, as I was saying to myself and nobody was listening or hearing, sorry. I managed to spend some time and finish the Barbarian illustration. There are some few things that I might do some changes or here and there, but very, very small stuff. But overall it's finished, and I will post it on the social media next Monday, hopefully, if nothing happens, nothing new happens. So yes. Luis, I just connected your scene. Sorry, that past weeks I am so busy. Yeah, no worries. I mean, what's the point of coming here just to get stressed about that? Just like if you can and you feel for it, then yeah, that's we are here just to chat a little, to learn some things, perhaps, hopefully, and to have a good time. So there you go. So like I was saying, yeah, this is finished. I'm pretty happy about it. Overall, I think it works, and And yeah, I hope that you like it and people will appreciate the story behind the barbarian that got lost in the dungeons during these last years and didn't appear. Richie, thanks for the like. So hopefully for the next, I would have to decide a stretch goal of followers on Instagram. He will make an appearance this time, recovered from this extenuating and almost deadly last quest on the dungeons. So yeah, and don't ask me how he managed to survive this. I have no idea. But we would have to. That is gonna be definitely a very interesting conversation to have, and to decide how we can portray afterwards surviving this quest, and what type of items, and how to portray him as a character. Because I mean, I also thought about putting this event as a new beginning, so to speak. I broke his mighty sword, so he would have to have something else. Maybe it could be another sword, so, or maybe it could be reforged actually. So that could be a nice touch. So yeah, we'll see. Luis, you can hear me clear? Okay, fantastic. And can you hear the waves on the background? That will be good to know. Because again, I don't know if since things are happening in a way that they should not be happening with the stream, I just would appreciate your feedback, guys. Joan Camperol Martí, thanks for the like. Muchas gracias. So yeah. So since this guy is finished here, then we will move back to our designing exercise of the Demon Primarch Perturabo, and how he could look and how we could portray him. So as I was mentioning before to myself at the very beginning, I haven't touched this image since since last stream we worked with it. So I thought about continuing with the character and see where it leads. Since today I started a little bit later, perhaps I would do a short stream. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't feel like spending too much time either doing a lot of hardcore designing work with it. I feel a little bit tired. Surprise. I'm always saying that, but it's true. These past weeks have been extenuating with so many things happening, work-wise and on my personal life. So yeah, I was thinking perhaps about making some random sketches as we started this guy, and see maybe we could come up with something something interesting for coming streams. But yeah, I don't know. I changed my mind and decided just to continue with this lovely guy. Bob Box Art, you love my brush, thanks. Thank you, thank you. So, so yeah, I just opened the file now. So normally it's always the same. Before I start the process, I need to look and observe and digest the what I'm looking at. Okay, so yeah, sorry, just the Photoshop froze the file, so I need to reopen it. And okay, now back. So yeah, like I was saying, I need to look at it again, observe and digest what I'm looking at before continuing just painting blindly. You know, just like the first second that I open the file, start to. So I just need to look at it and see. Because also that's if you have the luxury of working with a piece and put it to rest for some days or some weeks and go back to it, it's extremely healthy practice to do. At least that's how I find it myself, and because it helps you to see the piece with new eyes, fresher eyes, and to see things that doesn't work, or yeah. And I remember that where we left it last time, we were talking about adding elements that visual cues that could tie the character with the Iron Warriors, visually speaking. Certain elements that are associated with them that could help to associate him visually with his legion. Because since I decided to go take these routes of the rusty iron, that take him away from the most straightforward way of imagining him, which would be just a metal, gray metal color. Luis, okay, so amazing the Barbarian and Perturabo, and now it's possible to hear the waves with a little metallic noise, in my opinion. Right? Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, okay, cool that you can hear the beach, or well, the waves. Maybe I can change another one. Let's see. Yeah, maybe this one is better. Even with birds. Yeah, I just, this small thing that just happened, I just remind me, just sorry, 1 second. Yeah, there you go. So now if for some reason I show my desktop, oop, nothing, you cannot see anything. just to play safe. All right. Will Demagogue, thanks for the like. So I was, when I posted the preliminary, how could I say, the preliminary post to introduce the Barbarian illustration, just to put a little bit of context for people that have joined my my account on Instagram. So just to give some context and give a little bit of perspective of what is the idea behind this Barbarian. And since I mentioned the fact that it's how challenging it is, this thing with social media and gaining followers or exposure on the internet, I was struck about how much people were interested on having a discussion about it openly. And some people asked on the comments and also sent me some direct messages asking to have some kind of talk, so where some maybe a video or maybe a conversation on stream, talking about social media and my experiences and my thoughts about it, and maybe some tips. I don't know if I'm the most qualified to give tips about this, but definitely I can talk about my experience and my thoughts and the challenges that it has, and how great and positive it is in one hand, and also how dangerous and destructive it can be on the other one, and how important it is to find a balance and an equilibrium to both, because it really can mess with your head, I think. So so I was thinking maybe I've been trying to think about some format of how we could do that for a coming stream. Maybe we could do like a open conversation through Discord, or maybe to invite some colleagues and friends to talk, to have a round table talking about it. So I hope that maybe something like that could be cool and or helpful for some people. I don't know. Immortan Hank. Now imagine Perturabo shooting at tropical birds on the beach. Yeah. Yeah. It definitely would. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. Um, but yeah, I mean, this thing regarding the social media, and I think it offers. I mean, and when I mean social media, I mean the internet overall. That it offers so many possibilities for artists that they were not there before. So it's fantastic in that way, and how much exposure it can give to your work to the rest of the planet, right? And that is fantastic, but it comes with at a cost, and it can be very damaging psychology wise if you are not careful. And I think myself to be somebody to be very centered and how, what would be the word, that I don't have many issues in that regard, that I have very clear ideas of what I want to do, where I am, and where I want to be, and always in a very balanced way. So I don't get affected that easily with these type of things, and but I still recognize sometimes that I'm not immune to it, and sometimes I need to do a real effort just to detach myself from this thing called social media, and not that I'm not in the sense that I'm addicted to it, because I truly hate it. So I barely touch my phone, just so I can post it things, but I feel it's more like a job. But it's more in terms of the pressure that it puts you when looking at other people's work and comparing yourself to others, right? And that is very, I think it can be very motivating in one hand, and to like a thriving force for improving and becoming a better artist. But at the same time, if you take it in the wrong way, can be very destructive as well. So yeah, so I think it could be interesting topic to talk about it a little bit more in length, and compare experiences with other people as well. So maybe like an open telephone, so to speak, as well, so people can talk and give their opinions. That would be something interesting, perhaps. What do you guys think? Would you be interested in something like that? Mortis champion, yes, definitely. Especially if you bring your colleagues, it would be awesome. Okay, nice to know. Yeah, I mean, I can't. The thing is, if I talk about my experiences and my thoughts, I think it's very limited and not so interesting. If it's just me talking, so I think I would consider doing something like that. Exactly, if I can bring somebody else, and have like a round table kind of format. I think that could be interesting. and like a Q&A as well, so people really can give their questions and opinions, and yeah. So yeah, to be honest, I'm a little bit lost into how should I continue this guy. And I just realized that now Photoshop is playing with me, because the opacity is changed. It has done this before sometimes, and it was kind of a pain in the ass to fix. So now all the brushes that I'm using are just like at half opacity, so to speak. And I haven't done anything about that. Everything is at full, and still and it's extremely annoying. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. This stream seems to be plagued with technical issues. I think I'm gonna restart Photoshop and see if that fixes. Because I need to press super hard the brush in order to have a full opacity, which is very annoying. So let me just change the screen here, and yeah, and I will restart Photoshop. Let's see. Have you been following the E3? Have you seen anything interesting, or are you excited for any project or any game that has been announced in it? I myself, from everything that I have seen, just only one this Bethesda space game. That's the only one that could be interesting, but who knows? Without knowing or seeing anything more, it's difficult to say. One that I'm extremely excited about, but for different reasons, is the Ascent, because I worked in it, and it's made by a very good friend of mine. Is his co-founder of a new studio, indie studio, and this is their first game, the Ascent, and it's looking amazing. And I'm absolutely certain that it's gonna be a huge hit because it's yeah. So I'm very very looking forward for it. I think it comes the 29th of July. And yeah, so I'm very excited about that one. I believe it was announced on the, well, it's been announced before, but it was showcased on E3 for during the Microsoft. Let's see. Let's see if it. No, it has not fixed this issue. All right, that is very annoying. All right. So since I cannot start or try to fix it now during the stream because it would be very annoying, what I'm gonna do is just to do some random sketches and try to play around with this bug with Photoshop. Seriously, this is so frustrating. Let's see. I know I had... here it is. Just give me a second, guys, and... okay. So what I'm gonna do is do some random sketches and try to not get bothered too much about this annoying bug. So this is, if you remember, this is the original sketch we started and kind of sparked the idea of the Perturabo design. So maybe this time it helps to create something interesting as well. So I don't know. I will start. Yeah, I don't know if you have had this problem with Photoshop before. It just has happened to me several times. It has been quite a while since it has done, but it's very, very annoying, I have to say. Morta's champion. I'm excited about Stalker 2. Yeah, true. I forgot about that one, but it it looked a little bit. To be honest, what they showed, it looked a little bit kind of old. Like if it was for 5 or 6 years ago. I don't know if they were trying to play with nostalgia or something of that sort. But I felt that, yeah, I don't know. I think the Stalker games, I mean, the original game was awesome. But I don't know. I love the idea that they are doing another game. It's just that what they showed, it felt a little bit off to me. I don't know. Luis, compare with others, as you said, to improve and to know about your limits, tastes, etc. would be useful, but in you struggling in negative way and frustrate yourself or not be a perfect artist is not so good. Useful to compare with yourself 2 or 3 years ago. Yes, that is regard going back to the subject of of social media. Yes, of course, that is the a good way to do it. Hey Lucius, hello, how are you? I have to ask you, Lucius, have you finally seen Space Ultramarines again? Have you? Right, so gathering some references. Good. References and research is very important. It's vital. But have you guys seen? I mean, going back to the E3 and the games, this game that I was referring to, the Ascent. Have you seen anything about it? Because I seriously, I think it's looking awesome. Maybe you are not into that type of game, of course, but if you are, you are gonna. I think you are gonna love it. It's some kind of like Diablo meet Judge Dredd, kind of. So it's like a isometric view, cyberpunk game set in some sci-fi setting, and I worked in this game doing some character designs. And they are truly wizards at the studio of my friend. Lucy's Photoshop bugs hella annoying when they pop up. Yes, and especially during the stream because I cannot do anything about it. Bobbox Art. Miguel, do you think you could share your brushes or sell them? Yeah. To be honest, I mean, I have nothing. Yes and no. The thing why I'm a little bit hesitant about it is because I feel that people will not gain much out of it, and I'm talking from experience, because I mean most of the brushes that I use are the ones that I have done myself, because I mean just look at all the brushes that I have, and most of them are not mine, they are just from friends or bought them, or and at the end I'm mostly, I mean, 95% of all time, I'm just doing the ones that I have made myself. So I prefer to kind of push people just to do their own brushes. I think that's the best thing to do, and it's so easy to do. They are so easy to do. So you can cater them to your own taste and needs and everything. So yeah, so that is kind of my where I'm coming from. But at the same time, I have no. I mean, yeah, maybe with some of the how do you say, tutorials that I'm planning and working for Gumroad. Maybe I can release the brushes that I'm using for that particular tutorial. We'll see. But just selling brushes just like that, I don't know. I haven't considered. And like I'm saying, I feel a little bit like, I mean, there is nothing wrong with selling brushes. I just feel like, from my own experience, that at the end it's a little bit of a waste of use of money, because you then don't use them. So yeah, I don't know. And I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way. I'm just like in automatic mode at the moment. Cantabrian, hello. Hope you are well. Just stopping by to say hello. I will catch up properly next week. Be well, everybody. I'm doing well, Cantabrian. Thank you. Thanks for passing by. Take care. And yeah, hopefully we can catch up a little bit longer next time. But take care, man. Bob Box Art, you would love to buy them? All right. But how about learning how to do them? So you just so you can create your perfect brush. Wouldn't that be better than just buying some brushes that you barely are gonna use? Because I mean, don't get me wrong, many of the brushes that you can get, they might look fun, but then they don't fit. I mean, I'm talking just from my own experience. So it's just very subjective, and maybe you just buy a lot of brushes and you use them all and it's fantastic. So okay, but in my experience, I have used so many. I have so many brushes that are fantastic. Let's say one that I let's see, for example, this one here, fantastic texture. And I can have a lot of fun with it. I can't remember where did I got this brush from. Have it from many years ago. But I don't use it that much. So it's like you find stuff that look very fancy and fun, but then at the end you end up stopping using them because they don't fit exactly your needs. And unless it is for something very specific, you end up just using the same brush. For example, this brush here, this is the one that I created for the episode 1 of my tutorial of how to create brushes on YouTube. Sadly, I mean, because I've been so busy, I was planning to do a series of episodes for on that topic. I just managed to do the first one and basic. Hopefully I can do more. But this is the one that I show you on the tutorial how to do. And since I did that tutorial, I have been using this brush quite a lot, and I like it, and it's super simple and it has nothing special to it. You can do it and do it to your needs and preferences. Of course, the only thing that I can understand is that it takes a little bit of time until you find the thing that you just like. But like anything, it takes a little bit of time. But yeah. Bob Boxart, I tried in Procreate, but I failed. Oh, really? The thing is that I haven't used, well, I have tried Procreate, but I don't have it. I don't have a tablet, but I know from a lot of friends and colleagues that you can do fantastic brushes in it. And I'm not sure, but I would assume that there should be a lot of tutorials available for free of how to do them. I only want your square brush that you use for everything. This one. Well, the thing is, once again, I did it in this exact same way as this one, but just like modifying a little bit the shape of the stamp and the preferences, and yeah, and that's the thing, you can create your own, and it's gonna be perfect for you because it's just gonna be exactly as you want it. Because I did this one just exactly as I want it, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna be exactly what you want until you tried it. You see what I mean? But yeah, perhaps like I said, I may put them available in some tutorial or something whenever I decide to or find the time to finish some of those tutorials that I have on the production line. But never find the time to finish them. Luis, I'm not listening about the game that you talk about, Accent, but I have curiosity about it. It's not Accent but Ascent. I can play you a trailer now, perhaps. Let me know if on the chat if you guys would like to see one trailer of this game, because it's amazing, I have to say. Bruenor, hi, hello, welcome to the stream. I think this is the first time I see you around. Welcome. Sadly, today is a little bit. It's been a little bit problematic, technical wise. So I have currently a bug on Photoshop, and I can barely use the brushes because of the opacity, and it's not working. So I had to change my plans for today's stream and do some random sketches instead. So hopefully it's not a big deal for you guys. But yeah, anyway, welcome. Luis, I have a question about that. I'm not an expert about video games, titles, etc., except some famous AAA titles, films, brand like games, workshop, etc. To work in concept, you recommend to have a huge research about indie studios? Is necessary to play their video games? Thanks. I'm not sure that I understand what you mean, Luis. Okay, let's see if I'm gonna give my take on what I think you were trying to ask. If you want to work as a concept artist for video games, but you don't know much about video games except the very famous ones, I wouldn't say that it's essential to play games. I mean, the most important thing is that you need to be a good artist and an excellent designer. That's the most important thing. But of course, at the same time, I mean, if you are working on this or if you are trying to work on this field and this industry, it definitely helps to know about what is going on, right? To be in the know of what is happening and what are the trends and what it's, yeah. So also it's good to know, for example, if you are trying to apply to a certain company, to know what games they have done and what they are about. And perhaps it doesn't mean that you need to play them all, but at least to do a little bit of research and see some playthroughs. And of course, if you want to play, then be my guest. But at least knowing a little bit about what they have done previously or what they are working on. I hope that that answered your question, Luis. Sorry if I misunderstood your question, and if I have done, please let me know, and I will try to give it another try. Brenner, did you copy many photos to have this degree of realism? I wouldn't say copy, because copy perhaps is a little bit misleading. I would say study. Because copying, if you just copy for the sake of copying, the only thing you learn is to copy. But at the same time, I use a lot of, I mean, if what I'm trying to, how do you say, if what I'm trying to do is to obtain a lot of realism, I'm aiming for realism, then I'm using a lot of references to help me out. Because if not, it's regardless of how much you try, what you are going to do is always going to be some kind of stylized realism. But yes, I use a lot of references. Normally. Bobog's art. I got to sleep now. Have a good one. Sleep tight, and thanks for joining. And hopefully we can see each other next time. Bye bye. Lucius, I would like to see it. Brunner, yes, it is. Brunner, you have a great process. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let me. You want to see the trailer? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Beep. All right, there you go.
To all indents entering cluster 13, behave, or I'll have you fucking recycled.
You have shown an aptitude for applying lethal solutions to conflicted situations. We wish to test your abilities by giving you a special assignment. Success, and you'll be given a chance at earning your freedom.
What the hell? Are you trying to kill me?
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it is some kind of a Diablo type of game, but shooting in it's like cyberpunk genre in a sci-fi world, and it is gonna be. I mean, if you are into that type of games, it is gonna be amazing. My friend and his team are absolute wizards. They are just 12 guys, and then on the studio. So there is a very tiny studio, and they are doing that all on their own, of course, with some other freelancers as well, like myself, to help with certain few things. But they are doing, for the most part, everything themselves. And I mean, the tech is amazing. The art direction, the gameplay is super fun, and the art is like everything can be destroyed, everything. So it's I don't know. It is quite insane, and it's their first game, so as a studio. So that's very exciting. Mortal Champion, yeah. This game is Cyberpunk Diablo. Yes, exactly. Yes, I don't know. They have. Was it this week? Yeah, there is plenty of interviews and stuff about the game, and reviews are ready from critics, from journalists, and everybody saying that it's mind blowing of how good the game is. So yeah, if you are into that type of games, I definitely can recommend you to buy it when it comes. And of course, it feels pretty cool to have participated in it. But yeah, I think going back to the thing about the E3, this game I'm very excited about, but for different reasons. And just the space game from Bethesda, but that's gonna be for in 1 year or something. And we don't know anything about it yet, so we'll see. Brenner, do you usually study the artists you admired? Yes. And yeah, of course, I look at their art and try to understand how they have done things and try to internalize that. And yeah. I think that's one of the best ways of learning and finding also your own path and style as well, because through that journey you evolve and and you change as well into what you want and what you like and what yeah. So I think it is important to study artists that you admired, because you can learn quite a lot from that. And yeah, I do that a lot. It's so extremely annoying to paint this way with half opacity. And everything, even the eraser is kind of fucked as well. Luis, thanks for your answer. You understood perfectly. I'm talking about to be a super pro gamer and know everything to be a concept artist, and I have understood that is not necessary. We have to be good artists and know about the trends of the industry. Yes, exactly. I mean, yes. If you want to work as a concept artist, you don't need to be a pro gamer at all. Yeah, I mean, your discipline, your trade is to be a good artist and designer, and not to be a good gamer. But yeah, I mean, you need to be on the known and the trends and what is going on, and yeah. Well, guys, I think I'm so sorry that it has gone this way today with so many issues, and the fact that I started a little bit later. Miguel Mitchell da Silva, loving the live streams you are been doing. Appreciate the insight. Oh, thanks, and welcome to the stream. I don't believe I have seen you around before. So yeah, very nice to. Well, wait. or you have. I'm just you have. I'm so sorry that if I'm just mixing things up at the moment. You have been here on the stream before. You are from Brazil, right? I'm so sorry if I'm just mixing you with somebody else. I'm such a mess lately. All right, so you've been lurking. All right, but you haven't spoke or wrote on the chat before. Lucius, didn't we have a Iglesias last stream? Yes, you are right. Yes. Well, I mean, of course, my name is not that rare, but it's such a small stream. Yeah, perhaps the fact of getting another one, it's a special thing. And you see, for example, this guy, these two guys, I mean, they are sketches, of course, and very quick. I'm not using references, and you can already see that they are not, I mean, they are stylized, right? It's not that realistic. And that's what I mean, that if you are trying to aim for realism, the references are a must, in my opinion. And of course, I'm not even gonna get into if something is better than the other thing, or because it's absurd. But yeah, the thing is, then of course, now I'm just talking very personally. I love to do characters that look real, or at least that to some degree look real. And for me, what speaks to me is going into the realism side. I can appreciate a ton more stylized characters and designs and styles. In general, I really do. I love them as well. But what really speaks to me is when I can see a character that, even if it's fictional or crazy, fantastic or science fiction, if to some degree I can see that that character is real, and at least for me, the only way that I it really touch me in a deeper level is if I can feel that it is somebody real. So that's why I tend to go with realism with my characters. Miguel Mitchell da Silva, I drop in now and then. We spoke a while back, like 3 years ago on our station, and you gave me some great advice on color. Right. I I I'm sorry, I cannot recall, but maybe that's why it rang a bell. Your name. That could be it. Um. But anyway, very glad to have you here. Miguel da Silva, common as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't sound that uncommon to me either. I don't know who this guy is. What's the deal with him? By the way, going back to the E3, uh, did you guys saw the announcement of the Avatar game? And if you have, I would really be very interested in knowing your opinion or feelings about that announcement, about the game, how it looked, and yeah. GB Bear City. I love the Avatar world. Actually, kind of interested in how the gameplay will entertain me. All right, so you are into it, because I think definitely the Avatar world is super interesting. But yeah, that's kind of the key of the question is like how the gameplay, what the game is gonna be about. That's kind of what I'm concerned about, and I think my concerns with it is that potentially it could be fantastic, and it could open so many options of style of a game. My only concern is that even though I like a lot of Ubisoft games, and I've been working with them in many projects, and they have done some awesome stuff. But this is not just of Ubisoft only. It's just when it comes to big publishers that I'm not complaining about Ubisoft specifically, but in the problems that come with AAA games in general attached to big publishers, and is that they have so many constraints depending on their own policies of the and of the type of games that they want to do, and because if this is a business, they in many cases they are not too, they don't want to risk too much. That means that the options the creative options for developers to experiment and come up with new formulas for games is very limited. And So yeah, I'm a little bit concerned that the Avatar game is gonna be more following just the same formulas that the open the rest of the Ubisoft open world games so far, which they are good for what they are, but it's just like if it's the same thing again but just with another skin, it's gonna be so disappointing to me personally. So I'm but of course they haven't shown anything of that. Yeah, they just like a showcase of the visuals of what to expect. Lucius, yeah, I seen the Avatar trailer. I played the old game years ago. The environments look amazing. Hopefully, I can side with the humans. Yeah, I didn't try the previous Avatar game, but as far as I recall, it was bad, right? I didn't played it, but just what I can remember from reviews, and it was or very mediocre that nobody really cared about it. The thing with the big publishers, once again, it's like Hollywood, but for games, and is that they repeat the same formulas that they know have succeeded and have give them money because, yeah, once again, it's a business. But it narrows so much the possibilities, and sometimes you see the potential in some games that this could have been so great if they could have allowed to go in this other direction. But of course, it would be more niche, and maybe not so many people would have bought it. So they tend to go for mainstream, and which makes things more bland. Uh, so that's my fear. You know, for me, for example, if I speak about the type of game that I would love to see related to the Avatar franchise, would be exploring. A game that is only or most about exploring and getting lost in that world, and even with some survival aspects to the gameplay. Um, of But of course, I understand that then doing a game that is merely or mainly about exploration would make it very niche and therefore not sell as many as if you do a more type of I don't know, Assassin's Creed, but with an avatar skin. Um, But maybe doing the more niche thing would be something better suited for that type of IP and type of world. Lucius, the old game was very bad. Have you ever played Death Stranding? It's a weird game, but I love it. It sounds like the game you're describing, lots of exploring and navigating the world. No, I have not tried it, but I know the game you mean, and yeah, I'm totally for that. I mean, some of the things that I craved a lot is things that feels a little bit more fresh and niche in that sense. I mean, I can appreciate things that are more mainstream and that have become mainstream, right? Because I mean, if you think about the first Assassin's Creed, it was the first one, and there was nothing like it, or maybe similar to some degree. But now they've been milking the cow to such an extent that it has become such a mainstream thing for Ubisoft to do, right? So it's like trying the same thing with Far Cry. So at the end, it's just, and of course, it makes sense. It's an IP, so you are expecting that type of gameplay from that IP, so that is fine. But when they start to copy those same formulas into other games, then it's a little bit more of a shame in my opinion as a gamer. So yeah, I would love to if they would focus everything about exploring and getting lost and more more of a survival type of game mechanics. So in that sense, you could do a more linear type of game, let's say like Last of Us, right? Which are masterpieces, but then it's not open world, which is kind of the trend that they Ubisoft is going for with all these AAA games. Because it feels now that if it is not an open world, it is not good enough, and it's I don't know. I think playing Last of Us just is not an open world game, but still you get a sense of wonder and traveling those environments and the adventures, and still you get something similar in that sense, even though it's very heavily planned and staged everything. chibiversity, survival, RPG exploration, and specifically connecting with a bunch of different plants or animals on the planet to do various things. Yeah, exactly. So that would be fantastic, but something tells me that you might get a little bit of that, but in a superficial way. But for the most part, it's gonna be very similar to some of the things that we have seen already from Ubisoft. Which again I'm not saying that is bad. It's just that it's a shame if they just keep doing the same thing or pretty similar, but with another skin. But who knows? Maybe they surprise and it's very much a survival game about exploring, and that would be awesome. What a weird face. I don't know what I'm doing. Lucius, I haven't played a Ubisoft game in years, to be honest. Last time I enjoyed one of their games was Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Okay, yeah, that's like that is the best Assassin's Creed made, right? Still to this point, I think the Odyssey one, the one that is in ancient Greece, also was very good. I haven't played it, but Lucius, this character is looking smug. Yes, yes, he does. Yeah, he started smiling, and little by little. He's starting to look a little bit like a space marine. That was not my intention, by the way, but Jorge Marin, your work has showed the opposite. What do you mean? And by the way, welcome to the stream. I think I haven't seen you around either. So always very fantastic to see new names on the chat. But Jorge, what do you mean with my work has showed the opposite? Can you elaborate a little bit more? Because I don't understand what you are referring to. Hey, Lucy, you like? Nice. Yeah, he has some very exaggerated proportions, so that's why I get a Space Marine vibe. A little bit like Legends vibes, right? My goodness, my the point of my pen has become so I don't think you can see it, but somehow just now it has become super sharp, and I'm it started to scratch on my tablet like crazy. Wow, haven't seen this before. Like such a sharp point suddenly. Wow. The hell. It seems that I'm not gonna have a easy stream with Photoshop today. I like when I do things like that without knowing what I'm gonna do and start, and the character or the face go through different uh, very different stages. Before it was like a guy smiling, then became like a smug face of a space marine. Now it's becoming more like a demon. Lucy, you haven't seen this thing with a pen, right? Me neither. It's pretty weird. it may be the case since I have to press so hard the pens in order to get some color, because as I said, I have this bug at the moment that it just have like very low opacity. Maybe because I'm pressing so hard, I'm just denting the tablet with it. So now I'm trying to go easy. Right, guys, I think I'm gonna leave it here for today. I'm sorry that this stream is a little bit, it has been a little bit improvised and boring perhaps, because I've been very distracted and haven't been talking so much about anything that interesting. Hopefully next stream I have everything sorted out. We don't have any technical issues with the sound, with Photoshop, and we can have a more focused stream, both in content and discussions and everything. Pretty cool anyway to have seen some new names around. I hope that you guys felt welcome, and hopefully you want to join next week. And yes, I hope that you all have a fantastic end of the weekend, that you enjoy the summer. And I hope that it's not been so hot and warm as it is here now at the moment. I feel like I'm on a sauna at the moment. And yeah, stay safe and healthy. Have fun, and hopefully see you next week. I will have to see the time, but I will try to aim for 9 p.m. like always, and not so late as today. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thanks a lot for everybody for joining and talking, and see you. Bye bye. Take care.